the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus hosted for the second time their 2015 Research Expo with the theme Advancing Knowledge, Impacting Lives. This event was sponsored by the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago, the NGC. The event began with an official launch ceremony, which took place at the Learning and Resource Center Auditorium at St. Augustine on the 22nd of September. This opening ceremony was attended by members of the university's executive management team, other administrative and academic staff, sponsors of the event, captains of industry, and students of the university. The St. Augustine campus registrar, Mr. Richard Saunders, was the master of ceremonies for this special evening. He conveyed his appreciation to the large audience for their support to such an important flagship event undertaken by the university. During the program, the Pro-Vice Chancellor and Campus Principal, Professor Clement Sankat, brought welcome remarks, and in so doing, he used this opportunity to inform the audience of the importance of the work being accomplished at the St. Augustine campus.
It's fair to say that it is our research and development that has distinguished us from other tertiary education institutions in our country and region. For over 6 decades, the UWI, through its dedicated faculty and students, have contributed to the development of our country and region through both teaching and research, activities which have a natural synergy. Whether it be in engineering, education, tropical agriculture, law, medicine, history, literature, and cultural arts, I think we have worked steadily to improve the lives of the people across the region, and especially in our small island developing tropical state.
Principal Sankat further expressed that it was always a primary mandate of the university to continuously engage in research that will add value.
And that is constantly champion the critical need for us to ensure that our research is scholarly as well as relevant and impacting. I repeat, that our research is scholarly as well as relevant and impacting.
The Pro-Vice Chancellor and Campus Principal declared that the benefits of research can only be validated in one way.
We must convince the government and the private sector of our region that it is important to support and sustain research funding. But I can think of no better way to achieve this than to let the research speak for itself.
The overarching ideology for the research being done at the University of the West Indies is that it must be scholarly as well as relevant. As the region continues to grapple with the new challenges of an interconnected world, and the pool for research funding continues to shrink, not only regionally but internationally, it is incumbent upon research institutions to strive even harder to support our national communities through problem solving and creativity. The focus of this Research Expo was to communicate to the public about the research done across the 7 faculties and various research units of the University of the West Indies St. Augustine. In addition, inherent in this exercise was not only to build awareness, but hopefully also to inspire others, especially young students, to ignite their imaginations and creativity for exploring new thinking to advance the development of our country and region. The Vice President of Gas Transmission and Distribution at the NGC, Mr. Tickaram Roopchandsingh, spoke about the long-term partnership that had been established over many years between the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago and the University of the West Indies St. Augustine. He also echoed some of the sentiments previously expressed by the principal of the University of the West Indies.
I come from an organization that believes just as strongly as you do in the transformative power of knowledge. Education and training are 2 key focus areas of NGC's Corporate Social Investment Program. And we have been partnering with the UWI over many years to give support to the industry of research and innovation. Universities and similar institutions that generate knowledge are the epicenter of change, the catalyst of development. Before we even attempt answers to national problems, we need to ask the right questions. This is the critical role of research. It is studied inquiry that leads to informed action. As a national company, with a mandate to facilitate the development of our nation, NGC is especially pleased to partner with the UWI to showcase the work that students and faculty have been doing to improve the lives of citizens and move our country forward. The importance of research to development cannot be overstated. We at NGC recently commissioned an in-depth study of 2 communities in Trinidad with a view to understanding their needs and dynamics so that we could tailor an appropriate development intervention.
The Vice President went on to convey his recognition and congratulations to the university in this venture.
The research produced by UWI scholars has generated a wealth of knowledge over the years. It has laid the groundwork for the innovators, policymakers, and decision takers of our country to understand and start tackling national problems. I applaud all those who have contributed to the building of this invaluable body of indigenous knowledge and congratulate you on the impact you have had in your respective fields.
As part of the evening's proceedings was the musical interlude, which featured a solo performance by the university student Miss Tiana Chandler, who impressed the audience with her rendition of You Raise Me Up.
There is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats so imperfectly. And then you come, and I am filled with wonder. Sometimes I think I glimpse eternity.
Equally as important on that occasion was the launch of both a book and film series, carrying the theme Advancing Knowledge, Impacting Lives. These were established by the cooperation of various professors at the University of the West Indies, under the guidance of Professor Patricia Mohammed.
That is committed to critical thought, problem solving, and advancing our reputation in teaching and in research. And so, it was with the goal of creating an avenue for the collective dissemination of the work of our professoriate that our campus and university commissioned this publication. The unique work of our professors has touched, and some would have even changed the lives across our country and region, and hopefully will do more, inspiring a host of new young researchers as we advance our university's reputation regionally and globally.
Principal Sankat lauded Professor Mohammed for her steadfast commitment to research and development. He stated that his colleague is not the typical scholar, but also a great researcher in the areas of gender and development studies and allied areas, and she has written profusely on the subjects. Principal Sankat used the occasion to announce that in a few weeks, Professor Mohammed will be receiving the Vice Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Research, one of the most prestigious honors bestowed by the university. The added highlight of the evening's proceedings was the feature address given by Mr. Pedro Gomez Miranda, the Chief Operating Officer, NLA Enterprises Huawei, who spoke on the topic Universities and Research and Development from Huawei's perspective. Huawei is a leading ICT solutions provider, with products and solutions deployed in over 170 countries, serving more than 1/3 of the world's population. Mr. Miranda's address focused on 3 main areas: evolution and education and the role of ICT, innovative ICT to better connect education, and UWI in education.
It's going to be better to discuss here. For example, the books. Right now, what Huawei is currently doing in the ICT market for education is, okay, we can forget about books, we can have digital library that is going to allow to every single student in the UWI University, for example, to get this proper information on hand. There's no need for more paper. And in the other hand, if the student has a mobile device, the library can be with him or with her every single time, every time online, the time that these people wants to study, and doesn't matter in the campus, in the classroom, or even at home. This is the other interesting part, okay? And imagine, if right now the main technological tendencies are big data, mobility, Internet of Things.
Bringing the official segment of the ceremony to a close was the ribbon cutting, which took place later that evening to signify the actual opening of Expo 2015. All guests were invited to tour the various booths, which comprised workshops, film screenings, performances, and many other interactive activities. The Expo had something of interest for everyone, with hundreds of students from various schools being on hand to witness the many fun and intriguing displays presented by the various faculties. Those who attended marveled at the extent of the research work being undertaken by the university and were further impressed by the relevance of what was being achieved. The University of the West Indies Expo 2015 was certainly a great success, and with the continued support by companies like the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago, it is our hope that many people will continue to not only see the developments taking place at the University of the West Indies, but also benefit from the positive impact of their discoveries.